we're starting out our women's National Women's History Month for this particular episode, season 4, episode 6, the women that we admire. And I was inspired by the Eunice Johnson. And if you don't know who Eunice Johnson is, Eunice Johnson was an American businesswoman, and she was married to um, the founder of Ebony and Jet magazine. Uh, and I forget his name off the top of my head, another senior moment, but we're talking about his wife,
Yes.
Eunice. Now, do you all remember Fashion Fair? That's Eunice, okay? And back in the day. And she founded in 1973 the Fashion Fair cosmetic line. And it was the first international prestige cosmetic brand for darker skinned women, darker toned women. Now that's important
Mm-hmm.
because there's all kind of makeup out here now for all types of tones of skin, but the women with dark skin are still having somewhat of an issue, somewhat of a problem with makeup on the runway, doing fashion shows. But in 1973, Eunice Johnson started Fashion Fair, which was sold, Dana, in Neiman Marcus.
Yes.
Yes, in Neiman Marcus back in the 70s. That was really major. Okay. And the brand broke racial barriers in business and boldly established a new affirmation of Black beauty. Okay, now I remember my first time at the Fashion Fair beauty counter. It must have been 1976, maybe something in the 70s. And I
Mhm.
and I went to Neiman Marcus and saw this Black beauty line. I was like, oh my goodness. And so I fell in love with Fashion Fair and started wearing Fashion Fair makeup. But then things change where, other brands come on the market. And not only that, you have some European brands, Dana, who see the profit in catering to another group of people. And so then they also start to bring in different types of cosmetic lines for women of color. Okay. And so Miss Eunice passed away, and Jet and Ebony magazines, they had some lean years. And so it's like, okay, well, what happened to Fashion Fair? I had no idea until I saw this news report about Desiree Rogers. Now, if you don't remember Desiree, do you remember Desiree Rogers, Dana?
I do not, but I was so excited to learn about her today or over the course of our research. Yes.
Okay, Desiree Rogers was the social secretary for President Obama and
Yes.
Michelle Obama. And I remember when she did the State of the Union dinner. And
Hmm.
because I'm in marketing and a creative, the way she had that thing laid out, it was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. And if you never paid any attention to state dinners before, that that was one for the record. Okay. And so, you know, as it goes, there was some grumbling going on, from the other side, and maybe she didn't follow protocol or something happened to where she lost that job as the social secretary at the White House. Okay. So it's like, what happened? What happened to Desiree? And
Right.
so she took over the international beauty business, which is not easy, okay, especially an historically black beauty line. But because she was the social director at the White House, that was a challenge. And because she's a mom, that's a challenge. And
Hmm.
all these things that she does, those are challenges, okay?
Yes.
But to take on the Fashion Fair beauty cosmetics, that was a hefty responsibility. And so they asked her, how could she rebuild an iconic beauty brand that's been a household name for years? Okay. And so she's saying that it's not 1973.
Mhm.
It's 2021. And then she asked herself, well, what would Miss Johnson do? Because Mrs. Johnson was a trailblazer. Okay.
Right.
So um, she says that it's about reclaiming the position that they once had in 1973, being that trailblazer, being a little and trying to be a little bit different. And so that's our Desiree Rogers, who has now taken over the Fashion Fair Cosmetics. And listen, spring is right around the corner, and I know there are all these different beauty and product lines on the market, but go back and give Fashion Fair a try. They're in Sephora. How do you pronounce it, Dana? That
Sephora.
Sephora.
Sephora. Yes, you got it right. Yeah,
They've
yeah.
got they've got a shelf, they've got a display in
Mhm.
Sephora. So go on and support them. I know I saw some lipstick I want to get. And
Right. I said you can buy direct from their website too, and their website has been totally redone, and it's just stunning and beautiful. So please visit their website, which is fashionfaircosmetics.com.
great.
Fashionfair.com. Fashionfair.com.
Fashionfair.com.
Yes.
Right. Fall back in love with Fashion Fair. All